This course in Monaco. Hilarious, Pierre. Very funny. Yeah, I didn't realize the French had such a good sense of humor. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome back to Aussie Villain Racing for round 6 of Season 3. It is the French Grand Prix today, Pierre Gasly's home race, of course. And it looks as though we do have a season break coming up in between. We did miss a few races. I think Baku and Canada, it should be in the calendar that we took out with our custom calendar that we have. So we have a few weeks here, it looks like, in order to do things. So let's have a look and see, first of all, what we want to do with this time. So we have a power department focus, which will add a few resource points. We could get Gasly's racecraft and focus up. I think we want to do that. A sport demonstration event. That's maybe something we want to do. Some PR filming. Let's get PR. Is he still the second driver, or have I officially taken that? An equipment upgrade for durability department. That sounds decent. Team building. How much time do we have here? We've got another 2-day event. So we won't do the sport demonstration event. That's all fine. Facilities. Now, we do have 12 million. We need 9 million for Gasly, so I'm not really comfortable spending any money just yet. I want to make sure we get far enough ahead of 9 million that we won't have to worry about losing Gasly because we can't afford to keep him. Third team we are right now on the grid. All right. R&D, no, not that one, this one. R&D focus. Now, we do have one upgrade that is coming, I think, for this French Grand Prix. Let's go and have a look how else we can spend this 2,800 points. Okay, so we have some things in the aerodynamics department that have been unlocked, I suppose. So we have an ultimate rear end plate upgrade, and we also, if we go down a couple here, we have, is it this one? Yeah, under nose turning vanes as an ultimate upgrade. And we also have, there's one more here, isn't there? Diffuser redesign layout, which again is an ultimate upgrade. But all three of those would essentially, that would take all our resource points. Now, after this race, we have Austria. Then we have, what do we have? Hungary and the Netherlands. Now, how useful is aerodynamics going to be in those ones? I would imagine fairly useful. Now, chassis department, there's nothing we can currently get, so there's no point spending time on that. And similarly, in the power department, there's nothing that we can currently get. So that brings us to durability. Now, there is some durability things we can get. A part of me thinks we should maybe work on that, but then equally a part of me thinks make the car go fast and hope that it lasts. So I think it comes down to, do we want additional downforce with the turning vanes, or do we want reduced drag? And I always think, I mean, if we have reduced, this is my logic, I think we're going to do this, and the reason for that is if we have reduced drag, it means we can have less or the same downforce on the car anyway for more straight line speed. So that's what I'm thinking. We'll do that. We will have it. Oh, we'll have it in time for this next race, assuming it doesn't fail, and that'll put us as the top aero car in. We must have Adrian Newey working for us in the field. Now, it still gives us 781 points. Now, that makes me think we could probably get a durability thing here. We can't quite get the internal combustion engine one. We can get the MGU-H, though. What was the other one here we had? No, so they're both too much. So let's go and do this as well. And that'll just bump us up that little bit further as well. And, well, we'll see how we go in terms of getting more things once we get a little bit further along here. I don't know how long the season break is, but you can see there we are clearly the third best team and only a smidge of Mercedes and McLaren ahead of us. So this is all very, very exciting. Now, of course, we took a bunch of penalties in Monaco. Not as big as the penalty of the driver behind the wheel, of course. What an idiot I was in that race. But there we go. In terms of these sorts of things, I wonder if we could spend some money on here. Driver perks, acclaim boost, mapping engine wear will be reduced. I mean, that seems like a bit of a no-brainer to do, doesn't it? Unlock answers and development feedback, resource points boosted. We do have a little bit of money, so I think what I might do is go and invest in myself, and that should all help us. And, well, why not while we're spending money like a crazy person? Can I just keep doing this? No reason why not. How much money have I spent here? I wish you would update you on your balance. But that's me sort of maxed out there, and I've spent way too much. We're below the Gasly, but it's fine. We'll have more than enough time to get that back. The Gasly, oh hell, Gasly's here, isn't he? So he is currently 97 rated, and we should have that little bit of extra stuff to approve his. It was his focus and race awareness, wasn't it? So he is going to be very, very good indeed. We can see there 4.4 million on driver perks that I spent, arguably foolishly. The finances we can see there. If we go and have a look at the standings, again, it was a Monaco to forget, wasn't it? Gasly on pole, finished 13th. I ran up the back of Schumacher under the safety car. So the less said about it, the better. We're still 4th in the Constructors, though, which again would still be progress from last season, so it's not the end of the world. Season results, there they are there. Not great, was it? I did do the fastest lap, though, in Monaco. Let's not forget that. Don't get a point for it, but I did do it. And now France. Previous seasons in France, we have got a 9th last season, and the season before that a 15th. So it has been one of my better tracks, arguably. We're going to lose to Perez because he's going to get 3 points just for completing qualifying and all that kind of stuff. So there's not much we can do about that. I have added a fastest lap to my repertoire, but that is about all that that has come from there. So let's head back to the overview. Let's sim ahead. And let's hope that nothing goes wrong. And hopefully we're going to get ourselves a few extra things coming through the system now as well, if nothing fails. Durability update is done. Department focus is done.
We've had the new
marketing department issues. Let's see what this is all about. Okay, so basically one of our merchandise items is crap. So I think we just apologize, and I'm assuming we refund anybody that's bought it. 50 grand,
these kind of decisions can
that's not the end of the world, and hopefully it'll maintain the reputation that we have earned and hopefully worked hard to keep. Chassis building is done. Running costs, and that is done. Start the season break. We have 1,500 resource points before we start this. So let's go and spend... Oh, do we wait for another major upgrade? Yeah, I think we should maybe wait because we can get the ultimate upgrades on the thing, can't we? So we come back after that break. We can get the ultimate upgrade on the front wing if we wait a little bit here. So we've got MGU, that's done. General wear, the drag reduction thing went through. So this is all looking very, very... Do I have activities I could be doing here, I wonder? So everything is through. We've got 2,700 resource points already. All right, let's head off to France. Alright, so we can see the track map there. The weather forecast is dry. We have had wet, quite a few wet races in France, I think, haven't we? Are we the fastest car? We might have the fastest car with that rear wing thing that we have. A high cash balance, power unit upgrades as well from Mercedes, so that's exciting. This is all coming up. We can look at the upgrade details in the screen. We'll just trust Mercedes have done a good job there. I'm going to do some free practice. I suddenly think we can win this race. Don't know why I think that, but we'll find out in qualifying. I'll see you in a sec. Alright, so free practice is done, and our car feels friggin' amazing. Both of us are inside the top 10 for all 3 sessions. I was doing a quali sim in FP3, and I was fastest by like 0.8 of a second. I mean, the car feels so good. I'm actually worried we might need to put the skill level up because it's incredible. It's so good. Anyway, let's go to qualifying and see if I can convert free practice wonder into qualifying results. Alright, let's try this again then, shall we? We've just continued on from the lap where I spun first attempt. I'm not sure if I'll actually show that in the end edit there. It all depends how good the rest of it goes, but at least we've got a delta to chase until sort of the very end of the lap. And again, I don't need to be fastest, I just need to get through. We're only a little bit off our best. A little bit of a snap.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Thank you, Jeff. So there's no pressure here. Surely I'm not going to have a qualifying choke. We were 0.8 fastest of anybody in FP3. Come on. Is Guan Yu Zhou going to do his best to stop this up for us? Out of the way, Mr. China. Go to the inside, please, mate. Yep. Don't make me move. 2 tenths down, which should be fine. That's where, of course, we spun. As you can see, the delta massively flashed. I've had a little bit of a problem with this corner, trying to get it right. That's about as good as I've taken that, though. I have a nasty habit of going a little bit too deep into that one, but this is all looking reasonably good. I did a 129 in free practice. That is a 129 again. That will get us through, no problem at all. So as expected, I mean, it wasn't a perfect lap by any means, but it gets us through in 8th. We're ahead of Perez. I think the rivalry's done. I think he'll get 3 points just for showing up, to be honest. We can see there the cars that missed out. No real surprises, I wouldn't have thought. So let's go to what are we doing now? Q2, and see if we can get ourselves into the top 10 shootout. Alright, here we go, and you will notice we're going to try and get through on the mediums. When I did my race run, the softs did wear kind of quickly, so if we can get through, I think we might have an advantage in the race. So I just need to be as smooth as I can, and hopefully we'll do enough here. Third, please. Oh, squirrely as we get the power down. Alright. And worst case scenario, we'll have a good delta to chase if we have to go to the softs. Quite nail that again, and I think we're going to have to nail things to get through on these, and I'm not sure if we've done enough there. We'll need to do a 129 mid, I'd say, to be able to do it. That quite well. Can we finish it off here? Tell you what, it's not been bad. Are we into the 28s? No, we're 29, we're 30. It's not going to be enough. It's P4 right now. So no, we can see here, when we're P9 right now, we're not... I don't know if I could go that much quicker, certainly not enough to make me feel comfortable. So we'll go again on the softs. Alright, so here we go. I feel like if I can do a lap similar to that again with the extra grip, we should be absolutely fine. But we are P12. It was not going to quite be possible. Oh, it's so difficult to see that friggin' marker on the road there. So we're already behind, which isn't ideal. Not a great start to the lap. This is where we should start to see the benefit of the soft tyres.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
And that put us 3/10 up. Which should be, I mean, yeah, if that sort of time catch-up lasts through the rest of the lap. So plowed my way through there. There goes the bollard. But yeah, 8/10 through there as well. So we should be absolutely fine. Did I damage the car doing that? No, purple, middle sector. Absolutely flat, not even a thought of lifting. Carry as much speed as we can through here. Get back to the apex. And we are almost a second up. Good acceleration, and this might even be P1, you know. What have we done here? Is it a... No, still not quite, but it is only P3, which is a little bit worrying, actually. So it is P3 in the end. It was 2/10 off fastest, but I think that means at least 2/10 in that first corner that I stuffed up, isn't there? So is there going to be a third career pole on the offering here? Oh, I'm nervous all of a sudden. Alright, and here we go. Now we are going to get 2 cracks at this. We've got 2 new sets of super softs, or just softs it is now, isn't it? So let's see if I can start by getting turn 1, something near the apex. Decent start. Managed to stay in 5th gear as well. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We would have been a little bit slower out of there, and if we'd been able to sort of floor it in 4th. Alright. I really wish I had some sort of reference as to how the lap's going. It was okay, it wasn't perfect again. Wasn't too bad. Not quite perfect. I think I left a little bit on the exit, but that's okay. We've got a long time now to think about this next corner, which, coming up here, feels like you can just never brake. Drop down to 6th. Aerodynamics will slow us down to 5th. On the gas. That inside curve there is really raised. I didn't really nail that again. Roll it around here, 4th and 5th. Not get too greedy on the entrance there. Nice acceleration. Let's do the professional thing, stick to the inside, shorten the distance to the line, and it is a 29.2. So we can see after the first run here, the sector times, basically we've lost a lot of time to Bottas, who is fastest. We're a quarter of a second down, and we've lost that just in that final sector itself. So where I went up on that curb, that might be the difference between us getting pole or not, but we're right in this, aren't we? Alright, so here we go, our final run. Let's see what we can do. Hopefully we're not going to catch people on there. We are going to catch people. Out of the way, Denny Rick. So we are already up. Now we have to assume that Bottas will go faster, so we're going to probably need 3/10 as I clean up another bollard. So we're not quite as quick onto this minstrel straight this time, and that's going to cost us all the way down, just time ticking away. Oh, I almost lost the rear there. But we have got a better exit. And we know that we lost time, didn't we, on that one curve. If we can avoid that, we should go P1 ahead of everybody doing their final laps as well. If Max can just kindly get out of the way. Oh, Verstappen, don't you do this to me, man. Unbelievable. Surely the AI should be getting penalties for this. What a piss off. So there we go, we end up down in 7th, and I feel like we were at least good enough for the front row there, weren't we? So that's really frustrating. Obviously Verstappen hasn't forgotten Monaco, even though I think the general consensus was that was his fault. But anyway, we're racing from 7th, we're ahead of Perez, so that's something. See if we can get some nice big points, maybe even a podium here in France.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday and will start from pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Gasly, Daniel Ricciardo, Oldtimer, Perez, Sainz, Leclerc and Yuki Tsunoda, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton and Ocon, Giovinazzi, Russell, Christian Lundgaard and Guan Yu Zhou, Latifi, Schwartzman, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Alright, so we're starting P6. I think it was Hamilton, wasn't it, the drop down? I got to admit, I was checking my phone when it was going through the grid, which is what all the drivers do on the grid, is obviously check the phone. So I missed exactly what happened there. I mean, we don't have much strategy options because, you know, we're stuck on the tyre that we have to start on. I'm wondering if we want to come in a little bit early for an undercut, but I think that will probably depend on the situation of the race, and if I've learnt something, anything from Bahrain, it was that just screwed up Gasly, didn't it? So let's just stick with what the engineers suggest, and hopefully bring home some big points for both cars. Alright, here we go for the French Grand Prix. Now I have to admit, there was a little bit of an issue halfway through, see what sort of a start we get here. Now, for you on the YouTube. Just onboard cameras though for the first 2/3 of the race. We've got a bit of a poor start, to be honest. We've got a Ferrari on our inside. Can we get some ground down the outside? We've got Ricciardo. He gives us space. Thank you, Danny Rick, for that. And that is us up a position in the end, up to 5th, despite a bit of a poor getaway. Perez behind us. Norris in front. Now, he was on pole, was he not? So he's had to just clear the ball out of the way nice and early in the race. Try not to clean up the back of Norris. We've got Perez flirting away there on our inside, giving him a little bit of space, run a little bit wide, and we're going to be on the defensive here on the first lap from the Red Bull. A little bit harsh to give us track warning for that one, I would have thought, but anyway, we've got the battery fully deployed. Can we? Yes, we can. Brake a little bit later, take the corner, and tell you what, don't you dare hit the back of me there, Perez. But that little look he had at that corner there has dropped him off, and we can now settle into 5th place and work on catching the quartet in front of us. Now, yeah, basically what happened is midway through this race, I had an alarm going off on the, I think it was the battery pack on the computer. So I had to stop recording, restart the computer. But unfortunately, when I saved the race midway through, it only showed the replay only was from the sort of midway save point. So I don't have any outboard footage till about lap 8 or 9, I think it is. So apologies for that, but we'll just have to enjoy some onboard footage. And I mean, it's not the worst thing. You can kind of see when I'm on the battery and all that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, again, apologies, but it's just unfortunate circumstances. But it looks as though we are taking a little bit of ground here away from Norris, and thankfully Perez has decided to put a bit deep there. Oh, and very, very deep there. Coming onto this straight, that's invited Perez back up behind us, which is not ideal, but of course no DRS this lap. That corner there coming onto the straight with the heavy fuel load is really, really tricky to sort of get the gas down quick enough to, obviously, you want it to be as quick as you can to get the speed all the way up this straight. But the back of the car just wants to step out all the time. Now we've got Gasly up there in 3rd as well, which is excellent for the team. So purple's middle sector for us, which is nice. We're definitely in this race though, aren't we? We're catching, or at least keeping pace with the 4 in front of us, as well. Apparently we're very quick through there compared to Norris. And oh, don't go and bin it. That was a bit of a close call, but we got away with that one. It wouldn't be an Aussie Villain race if there wasn't a big tank slapping moment at some point, would it? Let's see what we can do here. I just started to figure out my lines. Those last few corners there, I really was struggling to figure out the best way to take them, but just starting to get my head around it now, I think.
Seem to have an issue.
And yeah, that is DRS enabled now.
The pit window, you'll be on the mediums.
And if you missed what Jeff was saying there, Norris has an issue. So hopefully we'll be able to set him up through here and then use DRS, which is now available, down the back straight. Now I don't want it to go deep like I did last lap. So far so good here. If we can get a good exit, straightened it up as much. Oh, Jesus Christ, Perez. And this is looking decent for a DRS move. Is Norris going to have DRS on the back of Gasly? It doesn't look like he is. He's definitely struggling, isn't he? Poor old Lando moves across on us, but it's too late. We're already there, and that is an easier overtake as we'll have this race, I would suggest. And up to P4 we go. Now, of course...
Okay, good work. Great pass.
We are coming in lap 5, aren't we? So we've got another 2 laps after this one before we come in. Can we look to close down the gap on the front 3? We can see it's Gasly, it's Verstappen, and I think it would be Bottas that would be the other car up there. Obviously there was a bit of movement in the those first few corners for Norris to drop back so far. But yeah, let's see what we can do. 2 Aussie Villain cars. Could we be looking at a double podium here? We could just have Verstappen and Bottas take each other out. 1-2. There you go. Wonderful stuff. But that's the end of lap 3. And we've done the fastest lap.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race.
2 red sectors and a green sector, and it was the fastest lap of the race. There you go. Now, we did do a purple middle sector the lap before, so maybe that explains that. But anyway, did not expect to see that with the first 2 sectors being red. So we are obviously therefore catching these guys in front. And was it Verstappen that had... Anyway, we're going to skip ahead to lap 5. And this is the lap that we're coming in. You can see that we have caught the back of the trio in front. And if they don't all follow us in, or if we don't... Well, we know Gasly's not stopping. It looks like Verstappen has passed Bottas. But if they can all go for another lap here, we just might be able to leapfrog all of them, you know. Let's see what happens. We know Gasly... Let's hope Gasly stays out, or else he's getting his revenge for Bahrain. We go a little bit deep there, but Verstappen has come in. Bottas and Gasly have stayed out. Well, this is going very well. Bottas and Gasly stay out. Verstappen was holding them up, everybody up there, I think. We could undercut Norris and... Not Norris, what's his name? Gasly and Bottas here. And then find ourselves in a race with Verstappen for the win, who's on the hard tyres. This just got very, very interesting. So,
Look after
a
these tyres
very,
now.
very
We wanna
important
finish the
outlap
race on
coming
this
up here. It
compound.
doesn't look as though there's any traffic that we're going to be coming across. And Verstappen on the hard tyre is a little bit of a strange one. The soft tyre did wear out relatively quickly. But the medium tyre in free practice was absolutely fine. So, I'm surprised that Verstappen's gone onto the hard, but that can definitely suit us. Now, are we going to get a chance DRS here? We might. I think we're just outside, aren't we? But we just want to be on the battery. We've got to do the perfect outlap and see if we can then jump Bottas and Gasly. And then, like I say, in theory then, it's between us and Verstappen for the win. And Verstappen's on a harder compounder tyre. He's taken lots of ground out of Verstappen through there. The issue, I suppose, is if I can get the medium tyres to last to the end and purple middle sector. But in free practice, there was nothing to suggest that you would want to be on the hard tyre, certainly for our car anyway. So there's Gasly in the pits. Let's assume that Bottas has come in as well. We've got Schwartzman, isn't it? No, Schumacher in front. Now, if Schumacher can jump into the pits, we're all over the back of...
his stop.
That's confirmation that Gasly's in. The Haas has ducked in, and we have DRS coming up down the front straight here. Now, where is Gasly? Where is Bottas? Verstappen's got a terrible exit. We're going to get him down this main straight. There's Verstappen. There's in the pits. Did we see Bottas? We're in front of Bottas. Where's Gasly? Gasly was behind Bottas before the stop. We're ahead of Bottas. I think we've done it. So I think, unless Gasly, who we know stopped, has somehow... So no, he must be... We're leading this race. Oh, Jesus Christ, those Red Bulls all over the back of me. A purple first sector. We're leading the race in practice, in reality, if not in no, well, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, once everybody's made their stops, we are leading the race. We're first of the one-stoppers. We've got Schwartzman. We seem to be catching Schwartzman a lot in the races recently, don't we? We've got Schwartzman in front of us. Lundgaard in front of him. They're on the soft tyres, and they would have got new tyres to start the race on, so hopefully they're coming towards the end of their life on lap 7. So that'll jump them out of the way. And... well, this are we on for a first ever win. We probably should have got it in Bahrain if I just stuck to the original strategy. I've done that here. Has the lesson learned in Bahrain going to pay dividends here for us? Schwartzman does jump off for the pits. Thank you, Robert. And where does that leave us? Lundgaard's in the pit lane as well. Got DRS. Alonso is in the pits. So it's just Esteban Ocon in front of us.
Great work.
And Gasly is indeed behind us. We've set another fastest lap of the race. I'll be honest, I'm just waiting for Jeff to come and tell me the engine's about to blow up, because this is all going very, very well. We've got a second and a half almost on Verstappen. We can see Esteban Ocon in front of us. I'm assuming that's him. So even if for some reason that is against the rules he wasn't going to pit, I mean, he's within striking distance, isn't he? So I've just got to stay cool, stay calm. Don't do a Montreal. And this might... well, I didn't expect this when we when we were coming to this track. Oh, and the nerves start. Deep into the corner. Verstappen will pull back a couple of tenths there. But we know we've got really quick car in a straight line now with that reduced drag. I tell you what, if we can get the front downforce on for Hungary and Zandvoort, well, this could be a very interesting championship yet. 10 rounds to go after this one, of course. So plenty of time. Is Esteban Ocon going to jump into the pits? He is. So as we come around to start the 9th lap of 13, we are going to find ourselves leading a Grand Prix, 1.9 seconds, 2 seconds ahead of second place, and the fastest car on track.
We're leading our teammate by 2.7 seconds.
It couldn't, could it? So we're going to skip ahead now to lap 12. We're about to come around and start the last lap. Bottas has... Oh, and we've got some outboard footage. Unfortunately, I don't have the tower timer down the side there. We're not actually midway through lap 12. I apologise. I've got myself mixed up on where we are on the track there. And we can see there's a nice gap back to Bottas. We can see Verstappen and Gasly are there as well. And there's maybe a 5th place car. I'm not sure who that is though, but certainly within range. But yeah, actually that's Perez, I think, the other Red Bull, isn't it? And of course our on-track rival. I mean, it's just looking nice, isn't it? We are now, I believe, coming around towards the end of the lap to start our final lap. A little bit wide. We've got a nice gap back to Bottas. The concern is Verstappen was holding up Bottas, and we kind of saw that before the stops as well. We can see Gasly there in 4th, is behind Verstappen. Gasly, I believe, is on the medium tyre as well.
Final lap of the race.
Confirmation this is indeed the final lap of the race. And, well, what can we do here? Can we finish off one more lap? It's been... I remember Martin Brundle always said that, you just... Sometimes for your first win, you just have a day and you're looking in your rear vision mirror like, come on guys, where are you? And it does kind of feel a little bit like that. We might have the best car. The AVR car might be the best on the grid just now. Other teams, no doubt, will bring upgrades, and that will be a moving target for us. But I am backing it off a little bit. You can see that Bottas is getting a little bit closer. And look at Gasly all over the back of Verstappen. Could we get 2 AVRs on the podium here? Go on, Pierre. A little bit wide, but that's just me, just making sure that everything is fine. We're not going to spin. We're not going to spin up the rears. We're not going to bin the car. That's somewhere that we messed up in qualifying.
Oh my God, Jeff, are we going to do it?
We're coming up the final few corners. We've got a 1.5 seconds over Bottas. Just don't do track limits. Don't spin the rears coming out of this corner.
Oh, hey! Woo! We did it!
Superb driving. That's the race win.
Go on, Jeff.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
Advance Australia Fair. Yeah, you mean, you know what? I took a lot of crap for what happened in Monaco. Completely unwarranted, in my opinion. You know, anybody can run up the back of somebody else behind a safety car. So to come here, very next race, and stick Max's words right back up him, particularly after that little stunt in qualifying, feels really good. Hey, we did it! We did it! I'm absolutely annoyed though because I haven't got my point for fastest lap because apparently Carlos Sainz did a 109. It's glitched. It's glitched and it's cost. If we lose this championship by a point, I tell you what, there will be words, that's for sure. But a good point for the team with Gasly coming home in 4th as well. I mean, our fastest lap was half a second faster than everybody else. I really did back off that last lap just to make sure I wasn't doing anything stupid. It does beg the question with the skill level, was that a little bit too easy perhaps? But, I mean, we didn't qualify first, so, you know, yeah, I don't know. Again, let me know what you think. And with Austria up next, a track that traditionally I think I've done okay at, we could be on for back-to-back wins if everything goes to plan. But we are 6th in the Drivers' Championship now. We leapfrog Hamilton and Gasly. Gasly has, well, he's moved a little bit closer to Hamilton. And if we have a look at the Constructors' standings, well, we haven't... Bottas was up there, but we've closed the gap to Mercedes. We've opened the gap on Ferrari, so that's a good day all round, I think. And finally, I've got myself a win. Absolutely delighted with that. Fantastic. And the rivalry with Perez, I think he has nicked it off us because he's going to get to 30, isn't he? Yeah, and we're a little bit short. But, oh, that's a shame. Be interesting to see who we get next because, well, Austria should be a good race for us. And then I think it's Hungary and Zandvoort, 2 tracks that may not suit us quite as well. But we can see there the team acclaim. If you have enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe if you are new. And we've got all the sponsors bonuses as well. And a nice little payout as well, which is all excellent. But like I say, if you have enjoyed that, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you next time for the Austrian Grand Prix as a race winner. Take care.